Float here about 9%. 9%, huh? Hey Keith, how's it going? I actually feel like this one is topped out. My opinion. What's up, RD? Digital, how we doing? Almost ran up to that line. We had a drop. Coming back. I don't know. Uh, awesome, Keith. Awesome. Crazy. See, I'd say Disney puts right now. I'd say Disney puts right now. So I'm gonna type that in. Disney puts. Topped out there also. Potentially. Potentially, but we're going for it. Let's see, do I have any niche myself? Could I do a little QQQ flip? Is this possible? How much cash do I have? I could buy a 572 for today. Let's see, did I get filled? Oh, I just got filled. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Hey, Scotty does. Yeah, I'm doing all right. Just bought a QQQ put, so that either means I'm going to make a couple of bucks or it's going to explode and everyone else is going to make a couple of bucks. So we'll see what happens. What put, what straight? Well, if I'm expecting a sell off like today, then if you want to roll the dice, you could buy like 119s or 118s for tomorrow. Or if you want to be safe, you could buy, next Friday and you could buy whatever, like 116s or something. Everybody's different. love how, again, I'm not trying to bash people, but I love how this guy, Peter, is like so emotional, yet he'll try to give people advice. You know, like I'm not trying to bash anybody, but it's like, you know, every day, like an emotional wreck, and then it's like, oh, you want to talk about options? Yeah, this is what I would do, and it's like, with all due respect, why would we listen to you? I'm actually glad that Oscar's been up, though. Trying to calm this kid down. What was I doing? Oh, yeah. Oh, excuse me. Didn't someone ask about this stock like just the other day? Oh my goodness. Well, it's back to where it started. That's a good sign. Oh, excuse me. Well, I don't know what happened that made the revenue jump up, but uh even with this revenue coming in consistently, I think the stock is overvalued, in my opinion. Powering the future of Bitcoin. See what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't know about this shit, man. Australia. Oh man. I don't know. I have no idea. Hey, Disney puts. Jose, can you see? Oh my goodness. Yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe they made like an acquisition or something, and the revenue chunked up. They got a contract or something. I mean, it's good, but in my opinion, I'd buy it like back down here or something like that. You probably get this for like half price. Are you someone in the economy? You are someone in the economy who thinks about the national debt. Man, screw the debt. The hell are we gonna do about it? I still say it's all bullshit anyway, but it is what it is. SB hanging out. DraftKings stormed back. My goodness. Yeah, probably ready for a put about now. Probably ready for some DraftKings puts right about now. If I am expecting markets to pull back, which I am, because it kind of looks like the S&P and the NASDAQ are wedging here. The Dow actually kind of looks the same way. Oh, it's popping, it's breaking straight through. Look at that. You know, see, I like it, but they paused it. They paused it. Which is why I'm thinking puts, believe it or not. A couple seconds. I don't know what I ate yesterday, but my stomach is killing me today. Little volume, man. Looks very resilient, though. H-Graph live quote, $1.30. Oh, I'm up $2. Dollars up, huh? Have you seen? I don't know what that means. Thursday already. Yes, it is Thursday. Yeah. Here we go. Right about now. Let's see. Can I run a trade in this other account? Because when you have no money, or little money, you have to have 18 accounts. So you can trade in all of them. Pain in my ass. DraftKings. I want to buy to open a put for tomorrow. How much is that? Oh my, yeah. These people are crazy. Look at this price. $46. Well, you know me. I always put my money where my mouth is. I said DraftKings puts. I am officially in a DraftKings put. And it keeps going. Put my money where my mouth is. I sound sick. I'm just all messed up. I'm all messed up. Like I said, my stomach was bothering me. Was in the bathroom for a while. And it's a rough week, man. That's why I hate days off, man. You know, they give us Monday off. It throws off my sleep schedule, everything, my whole week. Hood is up, Bitcoin is down. I thought it was relying on crypto more. Yeah, well, remember, that stock should be down 80% from where it is. I have no idea what's going on. Like I said, these kids are pumping all of these stocks that they know, and like I said, Hood, Coinbase, all those stocks are overvalued in my opinion. That was a link for the video. I see. My tummy hurts. I love when you guys send me videos and stuff. I don't like to watch video. Well, I do watch videos, but I don't really want to watch about stocks or anything. Nice warm soup. Yeah, I should actually have some soup. That's a good idea. Some soup, a couple of crackers, calm the stomach down a little bit. Yeah, we'll be alright. I did a nice simple dinner last night. We had just linguine with garlic and oil. And apparently, the oil went right through me. What level am I watching DraftKings? Yeah, I don't know. I kind of just throw out these recommendations, and I'm Looking for a pullback. Yeah, 46.20. Yeah, that looks good. That looks good. Soup with sourdough is back. All right. All right. I live in a supermarket, apparently. I could just pick up everything you want me to. All right. No problem. Where's the sourdough? Aisle 3? Guy's a character. This guy's a character. You are hilarious. What time is it? All right. We still got time here. We say DraftKings. We say. We say here. Hey, hey, what do you say? Let's PLAY play. Mm-hmm. 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 Very, very interesting. Very interesting. Oh, what's going on? Silver hanging out. Bada bing, bada boom. In our house, they make sourdough. What are you bragging? In here bragging to us? It's time to look at HG again, baby. This guy, DJ Khaled, being hilarious today. Time to look at HG again. Yeah, which HG? What are we talking about? Hydrograph? Hamilton Insurance? Copper? Oh, HG. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I love how I just mentioned 3 things and your response was yes. Just use any bread. Yeah, that's what I was gonna do. You know, you really think I was gonna say, oh, I can't have any other bread or, you know, crackers. Because the DJ said so. Yeah, Hydrograph right now is technically slightly below this trend line. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. DraftKings too strong. We need a break here. This bullshit market, bro. Look at this bullshit. I know, I'm joking, just joshing around. Having a laugh. Having a laugh with you. DocuSign. Well, we know earnings are a gamble, and, I mean, the chart helps, but technically the chart, doesn't really dictate the earnings move. Yeah, need some good soup. We'll get some soup. Can't believe Open's still going up so much. Yeah, that's the power of social media. Like I said, man, if I started that Wall Street Bets freaking forum or whatever it's called, man, oh, I'd be retired. NASDAQ said it will put more regulations on those who buy Bitcoin. Oh, shit. Uh-uh. It's all about the regulation. It's all about the regulation. Ooh, 14. Oh, can't look at it like that. Oop. Oh, my goodness. So the stock is up 1,000% in 2 months. Huh. My goodness. My goodness. What happened here? Oh my goodness. Look at this. Oh my goodness. What a piece of crap. But it's fake and trending, so who knows? 8 and then back to 10. I guess. Doesn't really matter anymore, does it? Got debt outweighing cash. Look at that. Costs more to keep the doors open than what we're bringing in. Share amount up 10%. Equity consistently dropping. Look at that, down 40% over the last year and a half, 2 years. But yeah, let's pump it. Let's pump it, right? Just remember, they bought it here. Okay? Just remember that. The people online who were telling you how awesome it was bought it here. That's a guarantee. It's a guarantee. So, be careful. Be careful. Stocks only go up. One more person asked me about this stock. I swear I'm going to lose my shit. I am going to lose my shit. Why is it up? With this dumb shit. We were right there. We were on our way right there. I don't know. My opinion, be patient. My opinion, be patient. Also, when the stock is up 8%, you don't buy a call. In my opinion. Because remember, that $50 call you're looking at is up 500% right now. So if you buy it and then this pulls back, you're going to instantly drop, 70% in value real quick. It's not worth it. Yeah, Disney actually looks like it wants to go higher. Oh, DraftKings! DraftKings! Ah, DraftKings! Yep, even a blind squirrel finds a nut, huh? Wow. Well, the good news is everything else in my account is getting decimated right now. Terrible. Alright, I actually need a minute. You guys entertain each other for a second. Oof, sorry about that. Just lost about 5 pounds. All right, what's going on? Yep, stocks only go up. Outstanding. Disney hasn't moved. DraftKings, little break, little bounce. Uh-huh. 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 Good things come to those who wait. Man. Can't take in too much oil anymore, I guess. Well, got a funny feeling when she won't hear you. Overnight, Lady Summer back in 63. What a world, man, time for me. Up, dollar back down. Oh, stocks only go up. Oh, no. Oh, what a night. Yeah, AEO worked out really well yesterday. Whoops. Oh, what'd I say? 1819, no problem, right? No problem. Up almost 5 points. Right on, me. Oh, stocks only go up. Outstanding. And then I'm just gonna laugh my ass off because I know when markets start tanking, then all of a sudden people are gonna like try to mention some economic data like it's freaking relevant all of a sudden. Oh, we're dropping. Well, you know, inflation and you know, the GDP. Blah, blah, blah. And like I still remind everybody, Trump was one of the best presidents for the market. First term ended 2020. The Dow was at 28,000. The Dow was at 28,000. When Trump got back in 4 years later, when Biden technically wasn't doing any good really for the markets anyway, we ran 50+%. Just want everyone to keep that in mind. And people try to tell me, well, we devalued the dollar, so we had to pump up the markets, you know, in proportionate value. Kind of understandable, but also at the same time, if these companies are seeing growth and slightly beating earnings, isn't the point all moot? Because it's with a devalued currency, right? So they're making more, but they're technically making less because it's worth less. You know what I mean? And that's why it's like any way they try to cut it, they try to make it positive. And like I said, we can't just keep climbing. I'm talking in general. Again, not just today because I said, you know, puts or whatever, but in general. We are approaching dangerous territory. Lulu, yeah, it was expensive the last time I looked at it. $200 stack. Oh. Okay, looked at it last time. Now, this is what I mean. This really shows you how good I am, man. Because like I said, I really do believe we were like here or something. And I drew this out and I said, oh, it's probably going to, you know, sell off and wedge going into next earnings. Oh, I'm so good at this shit, bro. Looking for 254 billion. Spot on. What do these people do again? Yoga pants, right? These chicks love yoga pants. See, the question is, I understand everyone's like, wow, it was worth more and now it's less. I understand, but that's a dangerous way to look at it. Because again, this could have not really been real, right? I mean, look at when the pump happened. Literally, from lockdowns to, like, Trump getting in office. You can literally see it. You can literally see it. And then look, we go into, look, January 24, ba-ba-boom. Little bounce, ba-ba-boom, right? Oh, no, wait. I got my years confused. But either which way, seeing a company like this rage like this under Biden actually scares the crap out of me. Set to enter the Indian market in 2026. Yes, we did hear about 50% tariffs in India. Yeah, you can see, look at that, a lot of volume exited. Because people are concerned, again, about the tariffs, probably. This company, I assume, probably makes their crap overseas, like everybody else. And that's why a lot of these, as I said, a lot of the apparel, a lot of the footwear stocks, they're going to be very, very difficult to time. This guy's in here talking about fantasy. He's on Fantasy Island. That's what he is. I actually don't care. I'd be down for it, but I like to laugh at people. The friggin' Indians, you know? I mean, you got 1 billion people over there, right? I'm sure they probably need, like, cleaner water, right? Better infrastructure, but no. What do we need to bring them? Yoga pants. It's what every country needs. Yoga pants and Coca-Cola. Better hose down that gear. What's DraftKings doing? Hanging out. Yeah, pretty much went flat. Okay. Disney. Yeah, back to where it started. Huh. How boring. How boring. You know, those Rivian puts would have been nice. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. I'm just looking for a little bit of a market break here because they're probably going to pump it again at 3. I have no idea. Because these are the breaks. Looking for the H-graph dip. The H-graph dip. What the hell is this stuff on? Considering, yeah, I moved over some money as well. I'm like slowly moving into shares. Again, my cost on H-graph is like $1.40 or something, but again, as I said, I mean, I missed it. I missed the big rally, but I always put my money where my mouth is. You got to give it some time. You got to come back in like an hour and a half and see where it's going to close. Just remind me, I'll come back to it. Come back to it before the close. Hey, it's Louie, Louie. Yeah, see, so I expected right here 345, stopping at the trend line and bouncing here and off of the moving average. And you can see we broke and we flashed, it looked like right down to about 3.25, this fib here. And we popped up, we got back above this trend line here. So again, we did have a big pop and then a big drop, but we technically should kind of keep stepping. Should be up tomorrow, in my opinion, unless they really want to bring it all the way down here. But again, as we saw, we had a pop, a little test back, and then a pop, right? And we flatten, then we pop, and, you know, and then we flatten, then we pop, and then we flatten, then we pop. You understand? So hopefully, that's how that happens. It's all about the MBOT. MBOT. Again, ASTS space, making no money, $20 billion market cap. MBOT, $150 million. Just remember that. If money isn't real and every company's worth billions and billions, then this is a $30 stock. That's what that means. Conservatively, right? ASTS is out of this world, literally. Literally. I remember watching it climb, and it went from 2 to like 4, and then 7. And I remember, like, you know, people were talking about a pop to 12, and I was like, if they pop it, like, you know, it's probably going to drop immediately back to 7. And it didn't do any of that. Didn't do any of that. Just kept rising on bullshit. And I just laugh because I mentioned some great companies, like over the last year or two, that have done very well, that are probably going to continue to do well. And it's funny because those are the stocks that people don't want to buy and hold, right? But something like ASTS, that's what I mean. They all piled in and they're all still holding. Otherwise, the stock would have tanked by now, right? So all those kids are still holding. Look at this. Space, bruh. Look at this. And for what? And for what? Technically, below this trend line should come back down to this trend line now, 32. And fill that gap, actually. Should fill that gap to 31 1/3. Right down back there. And then it should break and come back there. So the stock should drop 50 more percent. But who knows? Who knows? I have no idea what's going to happen. Because like I said, they're not making money and it's already priced in. I mean, look at this, 15 billion. Even if we held it here at 15 billion, think about it. If they started bringing in $1 billion a quarter, that's about 4 billion for the year. So right now, we'd be trading at 4x yearly revenue, which could be considered, fair value, maybe even slightly undervalued. But the problem is, they're not bringing in $1 billion in revenue. Yeah, no, 100% Khaled, 100%. It's inevitable. I mean, you guys remember this one. You guys remember this one? Space, brah. You guys remember this one, right? And that's what I mean, man. It's very unfortunate because now it's like all these freaking random robotic companies and quantum computing companies, drone companies, and now we got freaking space companies. And you know what? It's just like the EV companies that I said years ago, in my opinion, they're all not going to be successful. They're all not going to be like Tesla. You people are just piling in because it's electric, because they're making cars. Like, you know what I mean? Just because they're making cars doesn't mean it's going to be a great stock and a great business. RR to the moon. Well, RR, we were saying, in my opinion anyway, is actually one of the few where you could see growth because it hasn't exploded yet, right? So you could make the argument that it's undervalued. You're going to make a couple of bucks on something like RR. But again, I'm just proving my point, like ASTS, and again, you look at something like space. And remember, here, when you were buying puts, people were laughing at you. You know what I mean? It's just hilarious. Archer, Joby, I spoke about Archer just recently. I don't know, Joby, I don't know. Well, RR, this was like, yeah, this is like robotics and stuff they're making, right? This isn't, what was I gonna say? I don't think that they're not doing like drones or anything, right? I know they unveiled their robot barista that apparently seemed like it was even more popular than I thought it would be. But again, I can't understand the average human mind. I have no idea what's going on with people. But yeah, we got news. What was it? They got an order. Yeah, right. We got the news of them signing a deal with a large retailer, and you can see the huge volume came in, and they popped it right up here to the trend line. cooled it down a little bit, right? Retesting the moving average. So I think also coming down from the previous spikes, completely flattening out, and now getting big volume and a positive catalyst, I think we're going to like do one of these kind of, you know? And we're just going to kind of step. And again, all you want it to do really is just slowly step up, even if it hangs out at this line and doesn't reclaim it. You can see, look, you know, you're going into the high threes, you're going into the fours, you know? So like I say, you know, everyone wants fast monies, but in my opinion, you actually want a stock to remain quiet. So you can keep buying more and more and more and more, and then let the big explosion take place. You know, that's what I mean. People are very short-sighted. People are very short-sighted. Oh yeah, that was off. But yeah, either way, same thing. RR back to 220 again. You can see maybe the moving average right around here. Yeah, looking like 240s. We hit 250. Again, you might see like another dip, and then it may start bouncing. So just keep that in mind. No drones, service robots. Yeah, they haven't disclosed that yet. Right, yeah. Service robots. Yeah, no, that could be good. I mean, again, people, you know, the barista robot, you know, that's more of, you know, an attraction, a talking point, you know. Everybody wants to come see it, interact with it, you know. So that's like a tourist attraction. But I believe they were also with the food delivery, right? So something like that as well. Like it could be viable if there's not too much crime, you know, attached to the robots, but also at the same time, if they're efficient, what's going to happen is they probably will be successful, right? Because you know, more and more people will probably say, "Oh, I'll just have the robot deliver it for me." You know what I mean? People will like, we want more and more convenience when we can get it. So now, again, something like that, once they prove it, once they get it going, it should be good. LT, how we doing, brother? How we doing? My opinion, RI, definitely a buy right now. Add and forget, yeah. Again, this is one of the few companies, right, that, as we said, hasn't completely catapulted to the moon yet, right? So we're still at a realistic valuation. We're sitting here, right, couple $100 million. So that's what I mean. It hasn't flown yet. So you're not technically chasing too much. Adam, the barista robot, is fairly fast. Could run a restaurant. Wow, really? It's pretty impressive. Get a coffee at Starbucks, half-hour investment. Yeah, Starbucks, that always amazed me too. When I would see the lines at Starbucks and the way people have to like get coffee to stand in line for their coffee, and then you get to the front of the line and it's like $9 for a cup of coffee. Like, for years, I still to this day do not understand it. I mean, listen, you know, is it a little different? Do they make, you know, some weird fancy drinks and stuff? White chocolate lattes and, you know, caramel frappuccino. Yeah, I get it. But also at the same time, it was an arm and a leg 15 years ago, 20 years ago. People used to say that. And that's what I mean. The fact that so many people now, it's like every morning, I'm like, oh, I got to drive through Starbucks. I need my coffee. It's like, can you imagine spending $50, $100 a week on yourself just on coffee? These people are crazy. These people are crazy. No tips for the robot. Yeah, I don't know. RR again. You know, seeing the space they're in, and we just got the news with the retailer. We just saw the volume come surging back in. In my opinion, I think it's going to close out the year well and have a good 2026. And again, market cap right now, whatever, 380 million. Not that bad at all. Not that bad at all. Barometer of the fiscal health. Yeah, true. True. I'm just so amazed at how, like, so many people think the same way. The fact that they'll all like line up and not even bat an eye and just, you know, line up for their Starbucks. It's amazing. Yeah, trust me, they're thinking about ways every day to get around every tax and fee possible. Oh, the market is unstoppable. Yeah. Wild, wild shit, man. And if we spike it in about 30 minutes, we're just gonna force it to new highs. Yo, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. I want so badly for all of you to make money and be successful in the market. But we are literally witnessing a reverse market crash. And I'm not even trying to bring politics into it or any of that nonsense. I'm just talking straight up. This is dangerous. It's all about you, isn't it? I'm glad it worked out for you, brother. So again, we're only 20 points away now from this previous high, so I mean, one and two big buys, they're gonna pump that straight above that mark. I don't know, man. I still say dangerous. This is dangerous territory we're in. Yeah, I've done videos on RR. That's why you'd be surprised, man. Made a lot of videos on the channel. You'd be surprised. You know, I started talking about a lot of stocks I wanted to. You know, I was talking about like the Campbells and the Hershey's, Verizon, Philip Morris. Nobody really cared. And then yeah, a couple of tech stocks. You know, something like a Coca-Cola was getting decent views, and then SMCI, of course, really took off, and then people started asking about smaller up and coming companies, right? So that's why I started kind of shifting the videos into like SoundHound, STEM, right? Someone asked about RCAT with the drones. Someone asked about RR, whatever, a while back. So that's why you can probably go to the channel and just type in the symbol and search the channel. And there's probably a video there, depending on what symbol we're talking about. But you can, you know, listen to what I may have said back in the day, what I said I might be looking for, whether it's a price entry, whether I said I would wait for a certain time, whether I said, what do you call it? Whether I said I would wait for revenue. I brought you RR, okay. Awesome. Nah, I've been saying reverse market crash for a while, actually. I was hesitant, it was valid. Yeah, like I said, I don't remember what I said, but we looked at it. And yeah, you again, usually with a lot of these up and coming stocks you guys bring me, it's not necessarily like a bad idea, but you know, if they're like pre-revenue and we're sitting here with like a couple of billion market cap, it's like, you know, it's a little extreme. It's a little extreme. And that's why even something like Ampex, right? That's a perfect example. The stock was like what, $4 or something, $5, and I was looking at the trend lines, I was looking at the market cap, and I was like, I'd wait for this to come down to like $2, sub $2. And the stock pulled back to like 180 and it bounced and it slowly ran up to like $7, $8, wherever it is right now. And that's what I mean. That's why you got to pick your spots. You got to pick your entry points. Sometimes they fly away from you. You know, that's the power of social media. But I'd rather work smarter, not harder. That's it. Who's who, baby? Who's who? Yeah, it's all good. I've been mentioning the reverse market crash and how this technically isn't really a good thing. I've just been mentioning it in passing throughout some videos and stuff over the last couple of months, maybe. Because I see us just consistently hitting highs, and it's not good. It is not good. I think it would be a good time to change 401 portfolios goal maker settings to conservative. I have mine set to moderately aggressive growth. Yeah, yeah, it might not be a bad idea if you want to shift more conservative. Maybe even shift into like fixed income, maybe for, I don't know, like the next 6 months, 12 months. We are just going up, up, and away. Because the market ran 50% under Joe Biden for no reason. And now people are acting like that didn't really happen, and they just want to pick up where they left off and keep climbing. That is not how this works. And if we continue to devalue the dollar in order for our stocks to rise in value, then eventually we're going to get to the point where markets are consistently at all-time highs and the Dow is at 110,000 and the Nasdaq's at 70,000 and a loaf of bread is $28. That's going to be the problem. Hmm. Yep. To the moon, Alice. To the moon. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I love it. I love it. He keeps saying we can't cut rates, and every day it's, oh no, rate cut coming, rate cut probability on the table, blah blah blah. It's so funny. Literally any bullshit narrative they can pull out of the hat to keep pumping markets. That's what I mean. Now the data's good, so markets got to rise and we got to cut rates, right? But when data was bad the last couple of years, we kept climbing markets. So that's what I mean. How you can't have it both ways. No, that wasn't a crash at all. We barely lost value and we bounced back a week later. Wasn't even a big drop, man. That's what I mean. That threw people for such a loop, and that was nothing. That was nothing. Disney freaking climbing. MBOT's been bouncing. Graph hanging out. I ain't afraid no ghost. Up and away. Wee. Wee. Fubo. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Whatever. The rates, whatever. Big money always gets what it needs. It's the little guy who gets screwed. And I knew it too when I saw this pump. I was like, they're definitely going to issue some shares. Looks like we're tightening though, right? Looks like we're tightening, getting ready. My opinion, anyway. Outstanding. How's that Arcat doing? Okay. Okay. Impex. Okay. Honest looks like it's setting up a potential ascending triangle. It's going to get ready to pop back in here. In my opinion, you could probably trade a quick 10-15% on Honest. If you jump in shares. All about the 16th. I love the rate card. Give me the rate card, please. Oh, baby. Pump it. Pump it. If this just tanks at 3 o'clock, I will laugh my ass off. Oh, that would be alright. La la la. Show me potato salad. The crude. Oh. Can't stand people, man. Oh yeah, see we came up, we bounced and we started to climb up here, and you can see if you drew your little trend line here, you can see it was bouncing off and then it technically just broke below the moving average. I do still believe we come down to here about 60. I do still believe that. And again, I initially said it, and it literally as I was making that members only video talking about the bear flag, I even mentioned, like, they could fake you out and spike it and climb it back inside the triangle, and that's what I mean. You see the way they played with it. Because this was the original pattern. And you can see how we had the bear flag. Instead of breaking down, they popped it up back inside the range, broke it back down to where it was, climbed it back, inside the triangle to the apex, and then that's when they broke it lower. So, in my opinion, it's being manipulated. But I do still believe there's more downside for oil. $20 away. What was the high over here? 23.9. We could hit that in 10 minutes. Stocks only go up. Stocks only go up. Oh, yeah. Get it. Yep. Pump it. Looking to make that big money. Big money. Hey, the big money. Looking for the money. Yep. Yep. Oh, excuse me. If you wanna be my lover, gotta get with my friend. You're not even with my friend. Thank you so much for being my friend. Looking for the break here. Need a little break here. Ooh, there's a growing likelihood. Ooh. No, man. I don't like it. I don't like it. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Hmm. I'm gonna stretch my legs for a few before 3 o'clock. And, yeah, if you guys wanted to, look at a couple of earnings plays, maybe, just let me know. I didn't even look to see who's reporting, but I'll be right back. 1 minute. What did I say? What did I tell you? Yeah. Oh, I love being incorrect. Mm. Mm, mm, mm. Mm. Yep. Intel technically above this trend line, right? That was like right there. Should come up to here. Hmm. Oofa. This stock should not be this high. 82% year to date. That was 3 weeks ago. It's risky because it's above trend line, technically in uncharted waters right now, but in my opinion, this stock is overvalued. And it's going to come back down to test this line here in the 150s. Stocks only go up. Yep. MP wants more. It all wants more. Through it. Pump it. Pump it. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Bing, 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 bing. What are you waiting for? Mm-hmm. All right, buddy. Have a good day. See you later. Thanks for stopping by. And we really just keep trailing upward. It is truly amazing. Supposed to be a give and take, but we got no give. We're just taking. Mm, mm, mm. I don't know. It's your call. Looks like they just want to take markets back up to highs, so I guess unfortunately puts were not the play. Still have 40 minutes. I've seen crazier things happen, but I don't know. It just looks like they just want to keep pumping it. I mean, we were off Monday. We start off dropping Tuesday, and then that was it. That's what I mean. That's why I laugh, bro. Like when we talk about sell-offs, we talk about pullbacks. Like freaking markets dip for like a day, two at the most. That's what I mean. This like shocked everybody, and it still only lasted what, a couple of weeks, and then again we bounced right back. So I don't know. I still say, in my opinion, this is very dangerous, and we just keep trailing up. Yeah, well, that's why I've been kind of staying with well, we have Swibby reporting earnings, and I don't know, it might be a rough quarter, but obviously I'm hoping for the best. But something like Swibby, again, looking at the overall company, I just think there's more value there. So what you really have to do is you really have to go through the numbers and go through a lot of these names and find out who hasn't been pumped and who still has some potential. And again, something like Mbot, I know we're pre-revenue, but whatever, 180 million market cap, right? So that's pretty cheap considering. Um, Even something like RR, right? Again, if the space is growing, if it's becoming more and more popular, right now that market cap 400 million and change, right? So it could be considered cheap. I do still like Goodyear Tire. I think there's more value there. PayPal, again, in my opinion, stock should really be well over 100, and they're keeping it down. And again, if everyone's waiting for here with these supposed rate cuts, then hopefully that should really be the catalyst to kickstart PayPal. You would think, anyway. But yeah, you gotta really dig deep and try to find some value. HG hanging out. Yeah, it's just flat, man. Technically, below that trend line, though, right? Look at this. Drop it. Look at the spike right back. Drop it. Bring it right back. Spike it. It's amazing. Truly amazing. And that's what I mean. If we're this resilient under Trump because we keep hearing good things and it's good for the market, then in contrast, we should have tanked for 3.5 years under Biden when we were only receiving negative information. So that's what I mean. You can't have it both ways. Incredible. H-Graph, live quote, $1.30. Just been hanging out, $1.30. And I need someone who's like good with thumbnails and stuff to help me out. I gotta bring you in the Figma group. Can help design new thumbnails. We're gonna make all channels by the numbers. We gotta do politics by the numbers. We're gonna do gaming by the numbers. Got our stocks by the numbers. Yeah, breaking. There you go. There you go. Remember, it comes down to test that level. If you break, you're gonna come back down and eat. That's what I was hoping for, what, an hour and a half ago, but we just keep climbing. Oh, man. That's what I mean. It makes me look foolish when we all know I kind of know what I'm doing here. T-shirts by the numbers. Yeah, that's it. We're gonna, yeah, clothing. Yeah, I'll do try-on hauls, right? I'll do try-on hauls. That's what people love on YouTube, right? I mean, you can't tell me only pretty girls can do it, right? That's sexist. I could do it. We'll do try-ons by the numbers. I'll walk around for you guys on camera. Check out this pair of shorts I just bought. Hey, look at these sneakers I got. Hey. There you go. Why not? Divorced by the numbers. There you go. We'll make videos talking about people getting divorced, right? Well, we can interview people. Oh, you've been divorced? Yeah? Why don't you tell us about that? Wow. Are we actually going to sell off a little bit? Is it possible? La la la. I got the moves like Jagger. 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 Boom. Yeah, DraftKings again. If we didn't continue to pump and we actually pulled back, like back here, a lot of those calls would have worked out. But apparently, that is not on the agenda for today. Show me, I want to see a big freaking cuckoo boom. Show me the big kaboom. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yeah, Broadcom, someone mentioned yesterday. Yeah, we got Broadcom. Let me bring up the 3:30. Let's look at some earnings. Try to tweet it out too, but I don't think anyone really follows. There. AVGO. Oh my goodness, I swear every stock looks the same, bro. It's pure bullshit. Pure bullshit. Company has been on fire. 1.5 trillion on 15 billion. And now we're looking for 15.8. Wow, that's quite a jump. 15.8, huh? 113 PE. Why not? My goodness. And been steadily climbing. May have topped out though. Again, we're going from 15 to around 15.8. Now, I'm not saying they can't do it, but it is quite a jump. We look at last year. It's like 57. Look at the debt, 67. It is coming down though. So that basically essentially all cancels each other out. Our dividend is consistently going up, which is very nice. Shares have gone up. I mean, equity is chunked up, but that's essentially the only positive value I'm seeing here, because income, revenue and profits and cash all got canceled out by debt. So in my opinion, the fair value of this company is like 100 billion, believe it or not. I mean, even if you want to say 200 billion, and we're trading right now 1.5 trillion. So again, I may be crazy, but in my opinion, I'd buy puts. I'd roll the dice with puts, in my opinion. My mom has a few shares of Broadcom. She got them for free. Oh yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Stuff like that is always cool. Yeah, that looks a little expensive though, in my opinion. People were talking about Lulu. We've been down. Premature break of the wedge. Back inside the wedge. Climbing out of the wedge for earnings. Last earnings we dropped. Before that we dropped. And then we had a pop. We dropped. I mean, we technically popped. We dropped. Pop and drop. We're looking for how much? 2.5. And we're at 25. I mean, it's not that bad of a valuation. So we're up to like, what, that 12 billion roughly. We got some equity. And debt up here. Okay. Okay. No dividends, CPS. Check our shares. We've just kind of been hanging out. Yeah, this might be ready for a little pop. Where do they make their clothes? See, this is what I mean. I feel like the information that everyone really needs, no one talks about. People are just like, Lulu reporting today. What do you think? Lulu calls? And it's like, yo, take a moment and find out what the heck is going on. Citigroup raised its price target. 15 bill. EPS been good. 780 now. Alright, slowly growing. About 3 billion for the year. Yeah, cash been holding. Debt holding. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, trading roughly 3x. What's this? What do they do again? E-cigs. That was a premature break. No. Goes right there. Back to 83.5. Back to 65. I actually might buy puts on that. I mean, in my opinion. According to Perplexity, they make most of the clothes in Asia. Yeah, that's what I mean. That's why people jump ship. You saw the volume coming out, even though the earnings are all right. Same thing with like Under Armour. Remember, we were watching Under Armour back in the day. They kept beating earnings, but like the stock just didn't move. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I honestly don't even know if I would play Lulu. I mean, I guess it could kind of go either way, but I might favor puts because they make their clothes overseas. This DocuSign, again, you can see kind of mid-range of a potential descending triangle, which means we're going to break. So, I mean, in my opinion, I guess I lean more towards puts on this one as opposed to calls. My opinion. What else we got? Path. Braves. Guide wire. Let's see this. This has been climbing nicely. Sitting at around 290, and then we're going to jump up to 330. Wow, okay. 2012. Pretty much been on the up and up. Okay. $550 PE. Why not? Been growing nicely. Oh, just barely negative for the year. That's not bad. And we were positive a couple of times recently. Okay, they're gonna have nice profits. I mean, either way, they're gonna have nice profits because even if they post again, like above this 290, 300 million mark, they're probably gonna be net income positive again, I would assume. So it's gonna be a decent quarter. I just don't know if they'll hit the mark. Because again, that seems like a big jump as well. We're at 18 billion. We bring in 18. Well, I mean, we bring in a billion a year. Equity here, that puts us up to what, like 2-3. Like a third of that is debt right now. Okay, so we're back down to like 1.7. Yeah, it looks like they took it out, but they're starting to take care of it, which technically is a good sign. Cash flow still got $500 million cash. Free cash flow improving. Okay. See, in this one, though, looks like it potentially started climbing out of this wedge. Well, no, yeah, it was more like a channel. Gotta take this off, it's throwing me off. I actually think I would buy puts on this one as well. Put City. Oh, fuck. Guess everyone, piled into this one, huh? Hmm. Utah. Oh, Utah. Uh, Snag to docu put 400. Oof. I wish you well. I hope that works out. Broadcom puts locked and loaded. All right, awesome. Hope that works out. Appreciate the confidence you all put in me. This stock, it's funny. They beat it up, but I mean this stock technically is undervalued. This stock technically is undervalued. This is interesting. Because I understand, like, it's a rough space. We're talking retail and like hunting and sporting, fishing gear and whatnot. But I mean, I understand the revenue is dipped, but 100 million market cap. And look at the float, 35 million shares, 36 million shares. It's nothing. Let's see something. Short float only 3%. Right? Because they just shorted the crap out of it and covered. I actually think that might be a buy, that one. I've heard people love their stores. Yeah, that might be a buy right there. $3 again, 100 mil. I mean, even if you go back to like 10, you're talking about only like a $400 million market cap. Like, that's still not even anything crazy. So you could see like this continued spike up, like big step back on something like this. Again, Sportsman Warehouse, SPWH right now, $3 a share. Up bigly going into earnings. And I also see American Outdoor Brands. Who is this? Who's this? 100 mil. Alright, we dipped. We're slowly coming back. Okay, about 60 a quarter. 58, 60, 35. Back to Q1. Yeah, looks like the weakest quarter. Brought in 200. About 70. Okay. Okay. 100 mil. Cost of goods. But, I mean, that was one of their biggest quarters. But you can see it was up much more in comparison to Q2, when they also brought in 60 plus. We have a very tiny amount of shares. Slowly taking care of debt. Cash has been increasing. Huge volume. Huge volume. Spike to 13. Down to 9. It's the same exit. If you want, you can close it up. Like I said, I usually go down with the ship. Everything is raging. I like this one too, actually. American Outdoors and a Sportsman Warehouse. Those look interesting. I mean, they did, like, they beat them up, and I can understand, but it could be a U-turn time. American Outdoor, let me see, short float 5%. Yeah, see, they're both very, very lightly shorted. Very, very lightly shorted right now. Actually, I like both of those. I don't know how their earnings are going to be, but in general, in my opinion, they look like they're undervalued. Ba-dum, ba-dum, bum, bum. What time is it? All right, a few minutes. Let me see. Could I put in a trade? Was that Disney? 50 bucks. Hey, Jose, well done, brother. Well done. Good for you. Good for you. Small gamble got in sports. Okay. Added LAC for a few shares. Okay. Good job, Jose. I'm glad it worked out. Good old Disney on the pullback. Look at that. Stock sucks. Going right back to that key level, man. Funny, as everything kept climbing, that pulled back, eh? Wow, I can't believe. Look at this NASDAQ just taking on. Look at this. Are you serious right now? I don't know why, but I bought a DocuSign put for some reason. For some random reason. Even in dark times, we have to trust this man. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. There it goes, the heart of the fall. Yeah, it really is. Really could potentially be very dangerous. So we ride together. Yeah, those AVGO puts were wild. I even went pretty far out of the money, and it was like 200. That's why even DocuSign, I went far out of the money, but I was looking for a little bit of action. We have a couple of names, but we'll see what happens here. What are these all? 405. All right, so we'll get some of these in a few minutes. That's it. It's all about the puts. Time to bring this market back to reality, huh? Oh, Swibby with the pump above above that trend line, going right into the close. Look at that. I told you I wanted to hang on to that trend line. Looked like we had some buyers coming in for earnings. Swibby. Swibby. Everyone's just chilling, waiting. Oh, DocuSign, where you going? Where you going? Check out Lulu. Drop, little gap down. Technically, it says 405 for a lot of these names, but so we'll see them. I think the last time I looked at Weibo, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'd have to look at it again. I'm hungry. I'm hungry. Oh, now we're back up a little bit. Path up about 2%. Going into earnings. Huh? Mmm. Mmm. Swimmy! 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 Seeing an initial pop here about 5% on Smith & Wesson, SWBI. That. Check out Broadcom. We got nothing yet. Did this not say? Oh, now it says 4:15. Oh, excuse me. Lulu! Lulu! What did I say? What did I say? What did I tell you? Huh? Huh? I had a feeling they dropped that one, man. It's just hilariously beautiful how they did it, especially thinking exactly, Deli, you called it. I was literally just going to say everyone saw AEO reaction. They bought calls thinking they were all going to go up, the whole sector was going to destroy it. And that's why, again, right, we were just looking at it and I was saying, yeah, it could kind of go either way. I don't know. I was kind of leaning towards puts though. And this is what I mean. This is what I mean. And especially when you said, yeah, they make all their shit in China, that's what I mean. It's right there in front of your face. Ah, beautiful. Yeah, that's why when I saw, even throughout the day, as I was sitting here, people were like, oh, Lulu's reporting, I think Lulu calls, you know, in my opinion, that's why I kept saying, I was like, I don't know if I would pile into Lulu. This is honestly good to watch, confirms our thesis. Yeah, yeah. It's all about the due diligence. Look at Sports Warehouse. Oh, man, don't tell me. Oh, 5% pop. Did we technically get numbers, though? I don't know. We might have to go to the website for some of the smaller, stocks. DocuSign with a pop right to trend line. AI tools need to evolve to keep up with demand from large companies. Really? To make up low double-digit share of order book. Yeah. See, year billings 3 1/3 to 3.36 billion. Revenue 800 million, free cash flow 217.6 million, gross margin 79.3%, EPS 92 cents, estimates were 84 cents. Net 36 million. I mean net 63 million. Wow, excuse me. Q2 is an outstanding quarter with AI innovation launches, recent go-to-market changes, e-signature, IAM businesses. Q2 business results outperformed, leading to one of DocuSign's highest growth and profitability quarters in recent years. 800 million, 9% increase year over year. No material impact from foreign exchange rates. Subscription revenue 784.4, 9% increase year over year. Other revenue 13% increase year over year. Billings 818 million, 13% increase year over year. Gross margin slightly up. Okay. That was a big drop on income, technically. Net cash provided by operating activities was up about 26 million year over year. Free cash flow up about 20 million year over year. 1.1 billion roughly cash. Repurchases of stock were 201 million compared to 200 million last year. Yep. Yep. I think Peter said Lulu calls in a Discord. Yeah, that's why I was like, I don't know if I like calls. I mean, this technically was a beat. In my opinion, some of the numbers did look like they were in rough shape for DocuSign, and you could make the argument that it's actually overvalued, so I mean, it could flag here and stay up, but in my opinion, I actually think it should reject here. It should reject off of this trend line and head back down, but technically it's a beat. We're initially seeing a pop on DocuSign instead of a drop. What do we got here? Yes. You. Same-store sales increased 2.1% over last year. Gross margin up 80 basis points versus last year. Improves its full year 25 outlook. Huh? What'd I tell you, huh? Quote, I'm encouraged by the progress our team is making as we advance our transformation strategy. In the second quarter, we delivered 2.1 same-store sales growth, our second consecutive quarter of positive comps, despite ongoing consumer headwinds and a tough June comparison. Our focus on localizing assortment, shifting to digital-first marketing is already driving results, with markets like Alaska delivering high single-digit growth. Fantastic. At the same time, our firearms business once again outperformed the industry. These results highlight our strategy, competitive advantage, long-term growth. Okay. Which will support further debt reduction. Okay. Net sales $293.9 million compared to $288. Increase of 1.8. Fishing and hunting, there you go. Same store sales. Gross margin $93.9 million or 32% of net sales. Compared to $90 million or 31.8% of net sales. Okay, very nice. Expenses slightly up. Increased reinvestment in our customer-facing areas, store labor, digital. Okay. Net loss slightly up. Adjusted net loss was a little more narrow, though. Adjusted EBITDA improved to 8.3 compared to 7.4. Yep. Little losses here, little losses. Sorry for the whistle. Expects net sales to be in the range of flat to up 3.5%. Reaffirming adjusted EBITDA 33 to 45 million. CapEx 20 to 25 million. Opening one new store in November in Arizona. It should be well received in Arizona, in my opinion. Okay. Well, DocuSign. It's DocuSign. Go. There you go. You were saying? Oh. Swibby. Only up 2.5%. Hey, I'll take it though. 85 million. 85 million. Loss per share 8 cents. Analysts were expecting 10.3 cents. So they posted a more narrow than expected loss, and they beat on revenue. And what did I tell you? That would be like the perfect catalyst to take the undervalued company, again, that no one's really talking about, right? No one has a spotlight on this. And we can slowly inch our way back up into the 9s. And before you know it, we're back at 10s. Boom, right back to where we started. Swibby with an beat on EPS and revenue estimates. Stock right now 857, up about 1/3 of a point, roughly 4 1/3%. Let's check out Broadcom. That should have just hit. Broadcom, we had a big swing, and we're currently sitting up 1.6%. Forecast fourth quarter revenue above estimates. Third quarter revenue. Oh no, wait. Third quarter EPS 85. Sees fourth quarter revenue 17.4 billion. Wow. So that's like 10-12% growth. Revenue growth quarter over quarter. Adjusted $1.69. They technically beat EPS. Q3 rev 15.95 billion. Technically beat. Yep, beat. Fourth quarter revenue above estimates. Yeah, I'm sure it is. Freaking 17.4 billion they're expecting. That's wild. Semiconductor Solutions net revenue 9.1 billion. Infrastructure software net revenue 6.7 billion. I mean, just phenomenal numbers. But again, just like we were saying, like we know that the growth and the demand is coming across the board, essentially, for the entire tech sector. The problem is we have to pick our spots, right? And again, I think we all kind of agreed, like, yeah, they've been growing, but 1.5 trillion for this stock? Nah, no way. So we can see, I mean, we realistically should pull back like 7, 8, 10%, but I mean, you know, it was technically another decent quarter, so, you know, they might, again, you can see, we popped it, and then we dropped it, and we kind of just brought it back to where it was, right? Because that's what I mean, like, the shorts are understandable from my perspective because it's overvalued, right? However, the buyers are also understandable because it's a brand name in the space, they haven't been disappointing, and they've been growing like an animal. And you just saw, again, we just reported almost 16 billion. They're looking for almost 17.5 billion now in revenue next quarter. So, you know, again, it's like the shorts have a leg to stand on, but also the buyers have a leg to stand on. So, again, it's flat right now. It's flat. So a little volume on Swibby could run if it gets attention. Yeah, absolutely. If people start talking about it later today and even tomorrow throughout the day, and if people look it up and they say, you know, if they come to the same conclusion kind of that we did, like, oh, you know, it's a brand name, it's undervalued, you know, I'm going to ride this back up to maybe 10, 11, you know, so we might start to see even more volume and action on something like Swibby tomorrow as opposed to right now. Because again, you can see the names that were coming out, right? The traders, all the kids were playing Lulu calls, they were playing AVGO calls, right? They weren't looking at this. Boom. Oh man, I knew it, man. I knew it. Slashes annual sales, profit forecast amid demand tariff woes. I freaking knew it, man. I knew it. But as we know, a lot of these options, like Broadcom, for example, a lot of these options are very expensive. So, you know, that's why, again, if money's kind of tight, or if you only like risking like $50 or $100 a play, and you know, something like Broadcom, perfect example, you know, it's a 400, 500 for an option. Don't feel you're forced to do it, you know? At the end of the day, like we say, it's your money. And if whether we're talking about buying a stock or doing some options. At the end of the day, if you do not feel really comfortable doing it, don't do it, because it's your money. And again, if we happen to be wrong on something, I don't want anyone to get very upset. Doing something like an earnings option play, if you're wrong, again, you should be upset because you were wrong and you wanted to make money, but it shouldn't be because you need to make money. Because as we know, options alone are extremely risky, and if you're doing options on earnings, again, you're basically taking on max risk. Yeah, we got Lulu down. Let's recheck AVGO. Up, and we're down right now, 1.25%. Just too expensive, man. Too expensive. Let's see if DocuS's holding up. Up, slowly pulling back. Up. Call me Mystic Mac, because I predict these things. Path up 4%. Beats Q2 estimates, which were 347. No, that's next quarter. There we go. Fiscal 26 revenue rises 14% year over year. Adjusted operating income beats estimates, reaching $62 million. Annual recurring revenue grows 11% year over year to $1.7 billion roughly. Expects Q3 revenue of $390 to $395 million. Company forecast Q3 ARR 1.77 to 1.771 to 1.776 billion. Anticipates non-GAAP operating income of $70 million. Company projects full year fiscal revenue of 1.571 to 1.576 billion. Expects annual recurring revenue 1.834 billion to 1.839 billion. Forecast non-GAAP operating income of $340 million. CEO attributes 11% ARR growth to improved execution and momentum in agentic automation capabilities. Enable transition from pilot projects to full production, driving revenue. Cites strong execution, focus on efficiency as reasons for exceeding financial guidance. So yeah, you can see we were looking for about 347 million. Company comes out with 362 million. Pretty strong quarter for UiPath, symbol PATH. Pretty strong quarter for them. Check debt and whatnot. This is 1.7. Very little debt. Cash on hand. Let me just check. Equity technically has been dipping. And we check shares, and they've actually been decreased. Yeah, this is a buy in my opinion. In my opinion, this is a buy right now. UiPath, it's not... Okay, it's here in New York. I thought it was out of China or something, but... this technically is undervalued and actually just had a pretty good earnings report. And apparently next quarter as well, they're now expecting almost 400 million in revenue, which is roughly 1.6. Got about 1.7 billion in equity. Essentially no debt, very little debt. 700 million cash on hand, roughly. In my opinion, this is undervalued. PATH, Path, UiPath. And it's actually good because, as you see, they completely sold it off and have kept it flat ever since. So now might be the time to strike, so to speak, in my opinion. Again, UiPath, PATH, with a pretty good earnings report. Let's check back Swibby. 8.5, hanging out. Hi-yo. Looking good. Looking good. Let's recheck Guidewire. And we're up. Of course we are. 18 billion, 550 PE, but we're pumping it even more. Of course they beat. We know. Revenue for the year reached 1.2 billion, marking a 23% increase year over year. Subscription support revenue notable rise at 33%. License revenue grew 1%, services revenue 21%. ARR stood at about 1 billion, 19% increase on a constant currency basis. Profitability, GAAP income 41 million compared to a GAAP loss of 52 million last year. Okay, very nice. Non-GAAP income from operation more than doubled to 208 million. GAAP net income 69.8 million, translating to 81 cents per share. Non-GAAP income was 227 or 265 per share. In the fourth quarter alone, Guidewire executed 19 cloud deals and secured a significant 10-year agreement with a major tier 1 insurer. This deal underscores the maturity and referenceability of Guidewire's platform, driving increased deal sizes and deeper customer commitments. For the fourth quarter, total revenue 356.6 million, 22% increase. Yep, we read that. License revenue of 5%, services revenue 20%. Liquidity almost 1.5 billion in cash. My goodness. Company generated 300.9 million in cash from operations. Retired a portion of its convertible senior notes, resulting in a $53.6 million loss on retirement of debt. Okay, very nice. CEO expressed enthusiasm about the company's performance, successful execution of cloud deals, surpassing $1 billion in ARR. CFO noted company exceeded the high end of its financial targets with accelerated growth in ARR, fully ramped ARR, and total revenue. Guidewire issued guidance for the first quarter, expecting ARR between 1.048 and 1.054 billion. Total revenue between 315 and 321 million. Operating income between 1 and 7 million. For the year, expecting ARR 1.21 to 1.22 billion. Total revenue between 1.385 and 1.405 billion. And operating income between 68 and 88 million. So technically, another nice beat for Guidewire, GWRE, seeing almost a 15% climb right now, even with over a 500 PE, and you can see we were in kind of that downward channel, which technically is a bull pattern, but I mean, again, the company has been absolutely raging, so I was kind of hoping for a drop on Guidewire, but apparently it's up 32 points right now. Check out your SMCI for you for some reason. No, I'm just kidding. SMCI hanging out at 40, baby, just hanging out. Again, we could potentially drop it into the 30s, but I don't know if they can really beat it up too much, because they're probably going to start curling it going into earnings, in my opinion. So I still like it. That's just me, though, of course. Swibby hanging out. Swibby hanging out at 8 1/3, still up 1.5%, but technically was a good beat for Smith & Wesson, which is kind of the catalyst we were banking on. They posted a loss of only 8 cents a share, analysts expecting over 10, and revenue came in over around 85 million. Analysts were expecting 79.25 million. So nice beat there, top and bottom line for Swibby. I just want to double check these names. See how we're doing. Yeah, CAVGO flat. This is what we were talking about. Yeah, we looked at all these names. We'll just double check how they look. Let's recheck Lulu. Staying down. Yep. Let's see how Donku's holding up. Yeah, starting to step back down. Look at that, pulled back to fib of 79. That's what I mean. We're up and we're down, and we should technically, I'm telling you, we should pull it back. We'll see what they want to do with it. You know, like I said, we did technically have some slight negatives. Inflation and potential regulatory changes in Oregon could impact future performance. Well, those are technically two things that are out of their control. Hmm. I like it. I still like it. But that's just me. Oh, how about that other one? Oh, that one dropped. Oh, it dropped too. Net sales 29.7 decrease. Oof. Profit down, gross margin increase. Wider loss. Oh. This one actually had a little bit more of a rough report than Sportsman's. Yeah, I don't know. I still like it though. Still like it. Just my opinion. Oof, pretty rough day today. Stock soars. I love it. I love it. Back up a little bit. Bump, bump, bump. It's the way the cookie crumbles. Well, those are some earnings. It's been about 3 hours. We were looking for, I don't know, some put plays today that didn't really work out. Jose made a couple bucks on Disney puts, but the NASDAQ, the S&P just continued to climb throughout the day. But we'll see. Again, we'll see. Tomorrow's Friday. You know, we keep running up. I mean, who knows? You could wake up, you could have a big red day tomorrow. Yeah, you're welcome, Deli. Thanks for hanging out with me for a few hours, you know. Always nice to spend some time with you all. But, yeah, I guess we can wrap it up here. And just keep an eye on how these names look pre-market. Because, again, we've seen situations stock up 15% and pre-market all of a sudden it's down 7%. So, you never know what can happen till it happens. But thanks for stopping by. Appreciate your support. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. All right, peace.